Hello everyone, I am Loganathan from Loga QA Automation channel. Welcome back to my next video on Playwright. So in the last video, we have seen how to use page fixture to navigate to a particular page and then pick the title of that particular page and see if it is matching the expected value. And then we performed few actions, for example, how to set a value, set a text in the Google search, and then do a click on search button. So those are the things we covered in the first couple of videos. Now we are going to cover these three topics in today's video. So first one, we are going to see browser context page. So far we saw only the page fixture in our Playwright script, and in today's video we'll see how to use browser fixture and then context fixture. Next, different navigations we can perform in Playwright, like go back, go forward, and then reload. And finally, in the last video we just saw how to verify if the page title is coming as expected or not. So this time I just want to show you how can we capture the page title and print it in the logs. So these three we'll cover in today's video. Let's directly jump into our VS Code. Alright, so this example.spec we have already seen. So what I do is I'll delete this. This is no more required. And right now you see that I have a folder called basics under tests, inside which I'm going to create the next test. I'll name it as test02.spec.js. Okay. And so far, if we want to run any scripts, what we were doing was we were using the command, right? If you remember, we were using npx playwright test, and then we gave the test name, or we were giving the grep, and then we were giving the test description name here, and then we were mentioning about the headed mode by putting the double hyphen headed, and then we were mentioning about the number of workers we need to use, say workers is equal to 1 or 2. This is how we were mentioning. So from today onwards, we are not going to do this by writing a command. Instead, we have an extension. We have an extension in VS Code. So go to this extensions tab in the menu or tab in the VS Code, and here look for Playwright test for VS Code. So this is the extension name, Playwright test for VS Code. So this will appear on the top. Click on it. I have already installed it. That's why it is not showing me the option to install anymore. It is only showing the uninstall option. So for you, if you are doing it for the first time, you'll have this install option. Do install it, and after you install, if required, just do a restart of your VS Code, so that it will be all ready. Next, I'll go to the test that I've created. We are going to have one more configuration done. So let's go to playwright.config.js. Inside this, if you go to projects, under which, if you remember, we commented this Firefox and WebKit, and we kept only the Chromium project. So inside this Chromium project, under this use, what you do, add one configuration which is called headless : false. So what are we doing here? Hereafter, all the executions we do from Playwright spec files, where it is launching the Chrome browser, it will launch in headed mode. So I'm making headless as false. So this means everything will be in headed mode. Always the UI will open the browser, and then there the execution will happen. So save this and close it. Let's start. First, what I do, I'll first write a simple program to check whatever I have done is working or not. So you remember the import statement, import, and then test. Yeah, we can import the expect, but in today's session, I'm not going to cover anything related to expect. So I'll skip it. Import test from Playwright /test. I've seen people using /test or @test, so we can use both. It is up to you which one you want to use. I will go with /test. So next I'm going to create a test, and I'm going to give the description as browser context and page, comma. As you all know, it should be a asynchronous function, async, and then I'm going to use the arrow function. That's all. And inside this asynchronous function, the parameter is page feature. So let's see, page dot go to, and I will give Google website. These are not required. Let me close them. And here, let me go to Google, copy this back and provide it here. Let's see. Let me give page dot wait for timeout. I'll say 4 seconds, 4000 milliseconds I'm giving, so that it will be 4 seconds. Let me save this. You might have noticed that there is a small arrow mark near to my test description. The reason is I have installed my extension Playwright test for VS Code. That is the reason this is getting displayed. So no more I'm going to type the command in the terminal to run the tests. I'll be using this. So please follow the same for your tests too. So let me click on it. As you see, it opened the browser and immediately it closed. I understand the reason why. So as I already said, JavaScript is basically an asynchronous script. So it executes everything without waiting for the first statement to be completed or the previous statements to be completed. To make it wait, we have to use this keyword await. There is one more reason why we are using await, because the functions, the Playwright functions, are returning promise. If something is returning promise, then we need to use await, so that only when the promise is returned completely, either the error or the successful promise is returned, then it will move to the next line. So that is why we are using the await. So whenever we use await, we have to use the function which is using the await should be an asynchronous one. So that's why we are putting the keyword async here. All right, so now I used await. Let me see what is happening when I run this. Cool, it opened the page, and then inside the page it went to google.com, and then there it is waiting for 4 seconds, and it is closing the browser. All good. So next, as I mentioned, first thing we are going to see is how to play with this browser context and page. Let me first explain you what is browser, what is context and page. So browser is nothing but Chrome is browser. Okay, so if I open Chrome, this is browser, and I can have one more Chrome window open, right? So I can open any number of Chrome windows. So I can say new window. So this has opened one more Chrome. So here there is a window and here there is a window, but both are Chrome. Okay. This new tab is also Chrome. Therefore, when I say browser, it can have any number of browser windows, and that is what is called as context. So this is one context, and the second window that I opened is another context. The new tab that I opened is another context. So inside the context, I can have a page. So the tab that you are seeing here, it is a page. So where I have navigated to google.com, it is a page. And here, if I go in this new tab, let us go to say Facebook. And if I open Facebook here, so you are seeing the Facebook page. So first is browser, and inside browser you will have a context. Inside context you will have page. So inside context you can have multiple pages. Say for example, inside this context I have google.com page, and I can have Facebook page, and I can have Yahoo page. So many pages I can have inside the context, and in the next context I can again have multiple pages. So here also I can have multiple pages in Akri, right? So likewise we can have any number of pages inside the context. So this is the quick background I wanted to give you before I go and do the script execution. Let's go here now. Instead of passing page as a fixture, what we do is we'll pass browser as the fixture. Okay, this browser fixture is passed as an argument to my test. In that case, what do I need to do? First, let me create a variable. Let me create a variable called C1, that is context1, and I am going to use await. So this browser is what I'm going to use. So copy paste browser dot new context. Cool. Next, I'm going to create a page. So the page is, let me name it as P1 of C1. Inside context1, I'm creating the page. That's why I'm giving the name as P1 underscore C1. And let me give browser, and then this is the context I'm going to use. So C1 I'll be using dot, maybe for our reference, what I do, I'll give it as page so that everyone can understand. Page underscore 1 underscore C1. C1 dot new page. All right, and using this page object, I'm going to navigate. So go to, and let's go there. Let's go to Google and use it here. So don't forget to add await. 99.99% of the Playwright functions or methods will return promise. So to handle it properly, we need to use await. Otherwise, it will unnecessarily fail. What will happen is, before this particular statement gets executed, the next statement will try to execute, and then since the browser is not ready or page is not ready, the next statement will fail and you will get the error message on the next statement. You will not see any error on this statement and you will get confused. So always ensure to use that await before using any function from Playwright which is returning promise. Okay, so this is done. What I do, I'll put a wait message, await. I'll use this. So you see, so far I was using the page. So here when I pass the page fixture, I was just simply using page.goTo and then page.wait and all. But now I have created my own page object using browser object or using context object, and I created my own context object using the browser fixture. Okay, so now I'm going to use this page object, and you see all the methods that were available for page object is now available for my own page object. So let me put wait for timeout, and here I will give the timeout I need. So 3000. So this is 3 seconds. Okay, let me create one more page. Page 2 in C1 itself, in context 1 itself, I'm creating another page. So here this time let us use Facebook. Let's first see how this execution goes, and then we'll slowly develop on top of this particular program. Okay, let me execute this so you understand. First, it'll open the browser, and that browser window is a context inside which it is going to create one page with, or it will navigate to Google in one page, and then it is going to create one more page. It means another tab, and it will go to facebook.com there. So I'm executing it. It opened Google and it is waiting for 3 seconds. There is something going wrong, and it says page 2 is not defined. Yeah, exactly, page 2 is not defined. So copy this, paste it here, and put page 2. And very importantly, this page 2 is also created out of context 1, right? Context 1 is already defined. I'm not creating new context. Context 1 is already defined. So let me put it like this so that it will be more readable. Can you see it? Context 1 is created only once, but page 1 is created out of this context 1, and then page 2 is created out of this context 1. So Google, it is waiting, and then it opens the second tab, and there it navigates to Facebook. And one more thing, when I was explaining about JavaScript, I was telling that this is interpreted language, right? Interpreted script. scripting language. What does it mean? Though this statement was missing, it was not giving me any error and it was executing the first few lines. It opened google.com and then it was throwing the error when it was coming to this page 2 without initiating or defining this page 2 object. So it means it did not compile. It started executing things and then it found something going incorrect and immediately it responded or it indicated the error message. So this happens only in the interpreted languages. If it's a compiled one, say for example not Python, if it is TypeScript generally gets compiled, and then if Java or if you're writing it in .NET, first they'll get compiled and then it will get executed. So when it gets compiled, there itself it will say that there is an object where it is not yet defined. It can throw the error there itself. But in this case, it went till the execution and then it is throwing the error. So that's why we say JavaScript is the interpreted language, scripting language. Okay, so now we know what is context and how to create two pages inside one context. What if I want to open a new window of Chrome? So simple, I have to create a new context. So let me use C2 as a new context, and then I'll follow the same. And this time I'll give the name as page 1 inside C2 and C2.new page. Page 1 inside C2, page 1 inside C2. Okay, so C2 is the new context. It means it is going to open a new browser, Chrome browser, and inside new browser C2, page 1 will be there, and that is where we are creating C2.new page. And then in that page, where am I going to navigate? Let me use, say, Yahoo. Just to show you the difference, I'm using different web URLs. You can use Google for all three too. It's not going to harm anything. Okay. All right. Let's execute this program and see how it goes. So first it opened a context. Inside the context, it first went to Google. In the same context, it is going to Facebook. And now you see a new Chrome windows opened. There is new context. Inside this, it went to yahoo.com. So this is how we can play around with browser, context and page. Hope this particular point is pretty clear for you. Again, if you have any questions, doubts, please let me know. In the comments, I can clarify them. So with that, let's move to the next one, navigations. For this, I'll go to basics again and I'll create a new file. I'll name it as navigations.spec.js. So here, let's go direct. We don't need to explain this again and again. From Playwright /test to create a test, and it's going to accept two parameters, async. So first I'm going to give the description of my test, which is nothing but navigation example. And here I need to pass the fixture. Let me use page. I don't want to complicate any more the things. So let me use the parameter as page fixture. So await page dot. You all know how to navigate now. I don't need to go slow there. I'll use go to, and let me use Google first, and then I'll wait for timeout, maybe 3 seconds. And then I'll navigate to Facebook. And I'll wait for 3 seconds. Now I'll do the go back option, right? So now I am in Facebook page, but I want to come back to Google. How can I do it? Wait, page dot go back. Simple, pretty straightforward. Then after coming back, what I need to do, I want to go forward. That is, here I'll come to Google again, Google page. Now I want to go forward. Await page dot go forward. Correct. So here it will again go to Facebook page. Correct. Next, Facebook page, I want to see how to reload, because sometimes we will land on a page but we might need to do a refresh, right? So how can I do the refresh? Page dot reload. It refreshes page. Let me save this, and it was pretty straightforward and easy. That's why I'm going a little fast. So navigating to Google page, and after that I'm navigating to Facebook page. Then I'm going back. It is equivalent to clicking on the back button on the browser. After going back, I'm going to click again the go forward button on the browser. After I click on go forward, I will click on reload. So everything happens in 3 seconds interval. Okay, something is going wrong. What is it saying? Selector expected string got number. Okay, I'm sorry. Everywhere I'm using selector. Wait for timeout. All right. So let me execute this. So Google. Next, it will go to Facebook. After 3 seconds, it's going to go back. Awesome. It went back and it is in Google now. Now it is going again to Facebook by forwarding, going forward. And after which it's going to refresh the page. The refresh, we cannot see it, but it happened very fast. And then it waited for 3 seconds and closed the browser. So this is how we can use these navigation options of Playwright. So let's move to the next one, printing the title. So as I mentioned in yesterday's on the last video that we saw, I just verified the title, but now I'm going to print the title. So let me create a new file. Okay, this time I'm right clicking and creating a new file. This you can follow, or the other method that I said, go to basics and then click here. You can say get title .spec.js. Straightforward. Import test from Playwright. Test. Say the name that get title, comma, anonymous function, enter, page fixture, async. All good. Page await. Even I tend to forget await at times, so you don't forget it. Keep writing await. Await.page.go to. Let's use Facebook. And this time let page title. I'm using a variable now. I declare it with a keyword called let, and then I use page dot title, and I'm going to print this console.log. Very good. So here I missed the wait. Thanks for reminding me. Await. Console.log page title, and let me wait. Await page for wait for timeout. All good. Let's see how it goes. You see it? Facebook login or sign up. So here we are seeing Facebook login or sign up. That is the title of the page, and it easily picked the title and stored it in the variable, and then it printed it on the console. Alright, so these are the three things that I wanted to cover in this video: browser context page, navigations, and printing the page title on the console. So that we have covered in this, those topics are covered. Any questions, feel free to put a comment. Thank you so much for listening and watching this video. Until we connect in the next video, bye from me. Thanks, see you.